today's video, I'm going to show you a tool that completely changes how you interact with databases and how you go about managing them. So if you've ever struggled with SQL queries or complex data structures, or if you simply just want to be able to extract information from a database without using any coding whatsoever, having no technical knowledge whatsoever, this is the tool that is going to help you do that. And it is called Chat2DB, straightforward, right? Chats into your database. Okay, so what is Chat2DB? Essentially, as it says here, is an AI SQL generator for easy database management. You can connect all your data sources and instantly generate optimized SQL queries with AI to gain fast, actionable insights. It's cross-platform, so it uses an array of different databases. And like it says here, it uses AI in order to make the job a lot easier for you, that you don't have to be coding at all. You don't have to understand how the code works. You can literally just use natural language and get exactly what you want in terms of insights out of your database. Which is what we're all about on this channel, right? Using no code, having no technical knowledge, but still executing software-based things such as database queries. And without any further ado, we will get straight into the features. Okay, so once you've created an account, come to download. It has a downloadable exe or executable for both Windows and Mac, as well as Linux. So across the board, you're sorted. I'll go ahead and download the Apple chip for Mac and I'll install that. Okay, so we're in the desktop version and we're signed in. If you come to the workspaces area over here, you'll see I've got a demo data set which we'll be playing with. But to show you how to add or create a database, it's very simple. Come to add database, new connection, and you can see all the different database drivers that exist. So really across the board, whatever your ERP system or application that you're using, that database is most likely in this list. It's all the known ones, even ones that I've never heard of before, to be honest. But for example, if you go and click MySQL, it will hit you with this page where you can fill in all your details. You can even upload your own drivers if you need to, and you can go ahead and save that and connect to your database within an instance. So we've got a demo data set and we are going to be playing around with some of that data. Okay, so in our demo data set, we've got multiple different data sets, right? And in that, we've got multiple different tables. So you can see here, we've got some ERP data, Airbnb, birth analysis, so forth. Let's go to the first one, ERP, and open it up. Got multiple tables. So if we open those up, the tables here are for an ERP system. So we have our customers or clients, the products connected to them, purchase order details, sales order details, countries they're connected to, suppliers they're connected to, so forth. How do we go about analyzing this data? Because it's great to say, okay, Jagger, that's awesome, but let's go ahead and open up something like sales order details. This is the table for sales order details. And here we've got a couple of IDs that are connected to other tables, sales quantity and unit price. So how do I analyze this data in a quick and efficient manner? That comes to this feature, AI chat. This is pretty much like a co-pilot for Chat2DB. If we come down over here, what you're going to do is you're going to connect to the data set that you want to connect to. So we're going to go demo data set ERP, simple as that. And then we've got a bunch of different LLMs that we can connect to. We've got all the GPTs, we've got Quen, we've got DeepSeek, we've got all the Claude models. I find that 3.7 Sonnet is the best, so I've got it on that. But you can use any one that you feel works best for you. And over here, we're going to ask something simply. So let's ask something along the lines of create a API endpoint to show me all clients or customers who spent more than $500. Okay, perfect. So that's a good enough quote. So we're going to ask, or good enough prompt. So we're going to ask for all of the clients with that spent more than 500 bucks. Hopefully this should create a query for us that will join all these different tables so we don't have to do it ourselves. Let us see what happens. So the AI is analyzing our prompt. Okay, based on your request, I need to query relevant tables. Okay, so here you can see it's looked at these different tables and it's actually given us the queries on them. So the create table queries. So we've got 3 tables. It's given us a query now that has joined. So you can see all the joins to sales orders, to sales order details from customer. And then it's grouped and it's done the entire query for us. We don't have to write that out. And right over there, here we go. We've got our output of, and it's actually given us in a graph form, which is pretty awesome. So it's not just given us like another table of like, here's your list. And I'm pretty sure we could ask for that, but it's nice to have it in this table format. So you have to think, if you're presenting to something or you're presenting to clients or you're doing this as part of your job even, You don't have to write this query. You don't have to put this graph together. In an instance, AI has done it for us and it's analyzed all the data that we've put in. As long as you're putting in good, clean data, it will go ahead and analyze it in an amazing way. So we can see over here that gadget shop spent $10,499.85, all the way down to book lovers, which was $599.60. So everything above $500, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so say we wanted to add a new client or customer to the customer table, right? So we've got this connected to ERP, and I believe it is the customer table. Yeah, customers. So I'm going to say something along the lines of generate a CRUD code for the customers table in Java. Awesome. So you can see here we're doing the create. So CRUD, create, read, update, delete, those functions in Java, which is a programming language. We want to script those functions so that AI can do that for us, so that we can create, update and delete within that customers table. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so it's checking the right table, customers. Okay, so we can see over here, table, customers, different columns. And there you go. This implementation, the above code, gives us all the CRUD operations for the customers table that will create, read all, read by specific ID, update or delete. And we can go ahead and implement that as needed. Big news, I'm launching a private community that is focused on helping those who want to build with AI do so. It's on a first come, first serve basis. The waitlist is open right now, so go check it out in the link in the description below and sign up. Another thing I want to do here is show you how you can create tables, right? Because we've got all these demo tables. But if we go in our ERP data set to tables and we go ahead and say create table, we will be able to actually create a table. And what you can do is use the table copilot, which is using AI, and you can give it a name. So for example, say we go and I just want to think about this and think what we could add to this. Maybe something like inventory. So let's call this inventory and let's give it a ID of like inventory ID. So let's start there. Let's run it. And you'll see it's created the SQL for us, right? Which is awesome. And we can go ahead straight away and run it. Okay, so execution successfully. You can see we've got our table over here. The tables are updating. And if we go all the way through, you can see we've got an inventory table over there now. So that's great, but we want to add to this. So the easiest way to do this is literally you can just go ahead and add a column. And it's like a drag and drop kind of function. Where you can add in what you want. So say we want to add in product ID. Okay, so we can add the product ID. We can maybe give that type, but now at this point we're like, oh, okay, I'm not too sure. Should it be nullable? I don't know. I'm not sure. So what you could do is come to inventory, go to query console, and we'll open up the SQL editor. But here, obviously, it's expecting you to write SQL. What you can do is you can use AI. So what you just have to do here is literally hit the slash button on your keyboard and it will open up Ask the Database anything in natural language and it's going to use AI. So we can go ahead and say something along the lines of, please can you add a link to the product table via product ID? And then in the inventory table, I want to create like a warehouse location, maybe like quantity on hand, and maybe a reorder level. Okay. So we're going to say, please can you add a link to the product table via product ID? And then in the inventory table, I want to create a warehouse location, maybe like a quantity on hand and maybe a reorder level. So let's go ahead, and that's quite straight natural language as you would say it, like I said it. So let's see if it can understand what we're trying to ask it. Okay, so it's created these columns. That seems pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and run that. So it's altering our table. It's affected 0 rows. So I want to come ahead and I want to open up the inventory table now. And you can see here we've got an inventory ID, the product ID, warehouse location, quantity on hand, and reorder level. Pretty awesome. So now we want to kind of add some data. Now what's pretty cool is you can come to the inventory table. You can go ahead and say generate test data, and we'll use AI based on the columns that we have over here to generate some test data so we can go ahead and test this. So it's running, it's inserting. There we go. So if we close that, let's close these so we're not using them anymore. Let's open up the inventory table again. We just have to run the actual code here. So it's going to modify the database. That's perfect. Click OK. Okay, it's done an insert. Should be done. So then again, let's open up our inventory table. And there you go. We've got some inventory IDs, product IDs, warehouse locations, all different zones, and numbers connected to them, quantity on hand, and reorder level, which is pretty cool. If you need quick test data, it's a literal click of a button. So this is one of my favorite features. It's called the dashboard feature. You want to come down to dashboard right over here, click it, and it will open up this page. You want to click on new dashboard and give it a name. In this case, we'll call it demo. You can give it a description, and then the refresh rule is interesting. So you can click for it to be no regular refresh, or you can refresh by the minute. So if you have an ERP or CRM system connected to Chat2DB, you can always ensure that you have the latest data that's been used to analyze those insights by clicking refresh by the minute. So Chat2DB is always refreshing for the latest data at that specific interval. In this case, we're going to say no regular refresh, and I click confirm. And you can see over here, it's created our dashboard. Now, how do we add to our dashboard? You want to come to the AI assistant, the top right corner, these purple stars. Click on that and it will open up your interaction with your AI. In here, we're going to ask a specific thing. So for example, could you please list per vendor or supplier the amount of orders that have been placed? Cool, so we've put that through. We're going to send that through. It's going to analyze our input and hopefully give us back that data. So I'll check which are related to vendors or suppliers. Oh, remember we need to connect to our data source. So make sure we're on our demo data set, and we'll go to ERP, make sure we're on that. And let's ask the same question. Okay, cool. So we've asked the same question specific to that ERP table or data set. Cool, so it's completed querying the table structure. So it's brought in all of these tables. It's obviously joining them together. There's our SQL code or SQL query. It's querying our data, and here is our data over here. So now that you've got your data in your AI, easiest thing to do, you hit this little pin button and boom, you go and select the dashboard that you want and you hit OK, and there you go. It's placed into your dashboard perfectly as you want. Obviously, in this case, all of them have placed one order, so it's not that insightful. But for example, if we come back to our demo data set here, if we go to our AI assistant and we scroll all the way up and we come back to, for example, when we asked created an API endpoint to show me all clients or customers who spent more than $500, we've got that over there. Again, we can just hit the pin button. We can go select our dashboard, demo dashboard, hit OK, and there you go. Go back to our dashboard, and here you've got your dashboards or your dashboard with your different tables loaded within that. And this allows you to quickly have a quick little snippet of exactly what's going on with your data that you can showcase to maybe your clients or your higher ups in your organization, whatever you're using it for. And I think that's super, super powerful. Another big factor to consider when it comes to an application like Chat2DB is how secure is it, especially because it's taking in all of your data and processing it. And that's one of the things I kind of did want to look into and understand. So one of the things and I'm happy to kind of say this, is that your data stays private. Queries are processed locally, which is great. Chat2DB will only perceive your schema, so it won't upload anything into the cloud or into the LLM, especially because we're using AI in this way. And also another big thing here is transmission encryption, right? So it uses SSL and TLS protocol to encrypt your data, which is vital when it comes to things. So you got that SSH tunneling that occurs, and that's available when connecting to private databases. So from a security standpoint, pretty happy to say, based on what I've read, what I've seen, that Chat2DB definitely go above and beyond when it comes to fulfilling that security requirements. Quick one on pricing. So from a community standpoint, you get a free version that gives you access to 16 databases and a couple other features. The main one here is if you go pro, it's $15 a month yearly. And if you go month to month, it's $20, which is pretty standard when it comes to applications like this. You get a 30-day free trial, which I don't see too often, to be honest. So I think that gives you enough time to really trial this out and see if it works for you. So yeah, that's Chat2DB, guys. And from a real world scenario perspective, I mean, the question is who's going to be using this? We think of things such as maybe data analysts who need to extract insights quite quickly and use databases on a day-to-day. Instead of creating those complex SQL queries, they can literally just use AI to do that now. If you're a developer and you want to kind of speed up database management for what you're building, or your startup, You could use that. But I think a big one here is now the power has shifted into the hands of just the usual normal business user, the average person who might be watching this that needs to query some data but has never written a SQL query in their life before. You can now with something like Chat2DB. This is integrated into your ERP and all your other data sets. You have the ability to just go and query, just say, hey, listen, to the LLM, I need this data. I want it to be displayed in this particular manner. Please can you help me out? And the power of AI will perform all that back-end hard, complex work of writing those queries for you. And yeah, guys, that is Chat2DB in a nutshell, pretty much. It's an AI-powered SQL client. It's cross database compatible, so you can connect it to multiple different types of databases. As I've shown you with the different features, its LLM and AI component is really powerful. What it can do, be it creating tables, analyzing tables, and then bigger, larger data sets. So yeah, go check them out. Try out the 30-day free trial. Let me know in the comments below how your experience has been. Do you see this as being something useful? And yeah, we'll be keen just to go back and forth. And if you have any questions, just drop some comments down below and I'll make sure I answer each and every comment because I make sure to do that. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe. By doing that, it shows me that I should continue doing more videos like this and exploring more AI-powered pieces of software out there that people might not know about. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.